AUG is not available, GUG also codes for methionine. So this is an exception. Okay, it's used as a start codon in the synthesis of protein. What is the end codon or the termination codon? The stop codons is known as UAG, UAA, and UGA. Okay, so AUG is your start codon, and UAG, UAA, and UGA, they serve as termination or stop codons. Once your entire structure of protein has come to a halt, that means all of the necessary amino acids have complementarily attached to the tRNA, and now once your tRNA leaves each amino acid corresponding to the message here, that tRNA will leave, but it will leave behind its amino acid. Okay, so that is how this elongation keeps taking place. So transcription takes place in the nucleus. Translation is further divided into three parts, wherein there is first initiation, where there is an initiation codon, the tRNA that's complementary will bind. Then is elongation, which means this amino acid chain is elongated, right? One after the other. Now, once the entire message ends, where the mRNA says that, now it's the stop codon, because there's no need to make any more, there's no other need for an amino acid, everything is done. So the stop codons can be either of the three. And when it reaches this, it doesn't code for any tRNA. It does not call for any amino acid. So this, when it reaches here, it is the end. So there is no further making of the protein, and this final product is then processed, folded, and it undergoes some other processing before the final protein is made. Where all can there be an issue that could lead to a faulty protein? Stanza, you made yourself the host, so I have to stop the screen sharing.
No, you carry on, carry on.
No, you have disabled screen sharing for me.
Do that now.
Okay. All right. So like I was saying, when it comes to your protein, let's just say that there is some issue at the stage of the mRNA taking the message. The protein can still be faulty. Later on, once it goes into the cytoplasm, even during this particular step, during elongation where the tRNA comes and binds, usually there is no issue here. There is no problem here, because this is a very smart process wherein, the tRNA that's only complementary is going to bind. But towards the end, during the processing and the folding, if the protein is unstable, that could also cause the protein to chop up or to end up being useless. So during this time, what happens is when the protein is not useful anymore to the body, it could either lead to some health issues or variations or mutations. Okay, or sometimes it just doesn't lead to the protein being made. Okay, so this is your process, your entire process of transcription and translation in a gist. But now, okay, so when it comes to your entire process, is there any doubts as such? I've just explained it in a gist. There is one important visual aid that I wanted to show. Okay, do you see these codons? Now, one amino acid, let's say, okay, can be represented by more than one codon as well. So if you see this, UUU and UUC both code for phenylalanine, okay, or leucine can be coded by any of these four codons as well. Okay, so depending on the tRNA, which carries a particular amino acid, the complementary codes, this is how it binds. So yes, each codon codes for an amino acid, but multiple codons could also code for one amino acid. Okay, so it depends on what exactly is the protein that is being made. Okay, so this is another important thing that you should know. Any doubts so far in the first chapter? Any doubts so far in the first chapter? Okay, let's move to the 8th chapter, which is your cell division. Now, there's a question that I had asked. If you're wounded, if you have a wound and you apply a band-aid, and after a few days you see that you're healed. So is that the magic of your body, or is that the band-aid? And all of you answered it's because of your body. So the main reason behind this is your body has this particular process that it undergoes. Your cells, they undergo division. Your cells replicate. Okay, so if there is a skin cell and it is being wounded, so skin cell is going to replicate and it's going to make another skin cell, but it has the same number of chromosomes. Okay, it has the same function. Your skin cell, when it duplicates or replicates, it's not going to make a liver cell, or there is not going to be a heart cell that is made here, right? So your skin cells will duplicate into skin cells, and then your liver cells are going to make liver cells, your heart will make your heart cells. Why isn't it that sometimes there is a mistake and your liver cells ki jagah pick up the heart cells aa jata hai? Because there would be chaos. So there is a complete regulation that happens in your body. Now this is called gene regulation and cell differentiation. Okay, now when you're born as a single cell, but then you divide. Growth and development happens from that one tiny cell, and you're differentiated into so many cells and then organs and then organ systems. How is it possible carrying the same DNA molecule in each of your cells and you have so many different functions and organs? The answer is gene regulation and cell differentiation. Although you carry the same genetic material in all of your cells, your DNA in a particular cell is going to be directed to only perform those functions and only turn on those genes that are required by that cell. Meaning your eye cell, even if it carries the same DNA as your stomach cell, is not going to produce hydrochloric acid, right? So this is how your body is designed. Okay, so now we as humans began as a single fertilized cells, but by the time we are an adult, we have trillions of cells, around 37 to 38 trillion cells. So every day your cells replenish themselves. Do you know one part of your body where the cells don't regenerate? We discussed this. Do you know a part of your body where your cells don't regenerate? Absolutely, absolutely. So it's your brain. That's the reason why we are prone to neurodegenerative disorders. So now cell division, like someone just mentioned, mitosis, there are two processes of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. Now both of them sound similar, but they have completely different functions, all right? So mitosis is a function where a cell will duplicate and make another cell that is very similar to its function, structure, and everything. Okay, so this is like making a clone of yourself or making a twin of yourself. But do you think the cells keep dividing? Do they keep dividing and dividing without any end? Do you think mitosis keeps happening like throughout? No. Okay, the answer is correct, but why? What if a cell keeps dividing? What if a cell thinks that, you know what, I want to be immortal, so it keeps dividing, dividing, dividing? Yes. So uncontrolled mitosis is a reason for cancer, wherein the cells, it keeps dividing and then they form a cluster of cells, okay, that could turn into a tumor. So this is exactly the basis of understanding cancer. But now we are going to talk about the simple mitosis that happens in the body that's responsible for our growth, development, a lot of other cell functions. Okay, so your cells, why exactly do they divide? Number one, of course, to repair. Now, if you're wounded and you're hurt, it is going to replace the old cells. However, not just when you're wounded, but your body is continuously replenishing its new cells. Do you know there's a very interesting fact? You know, they say that you are what you eat. Do you know the actual reason why they say that? Because now let's just say that you've just started on a new diet, right? And you have made it a habit for, let's say, 30-35 days, about a month. So your cells usually replenish themselves every 32 days. Now, when that happens, the new cells that you make are going to be made with the nourishment that is derived from what you give your body, which is the reason why you will observe if you are on a diet that is just filled with oily food, you know, burgers, pizza, And not just one day. I'm saying do it continuously. When you're out somewhere and then you're completely on junk food for days at an end, you suddenly start see your skin becomes duller. You start breaking out, right? So this is because your body is going to use the nourishment that you give in order to make the cell functions better, or in order to do that. That's the reason why certain diets are considered to be a boon to your body. Okay, so detoxification usually helps you in cell programming as well. So this is how your body replaces old, dead or damaged cells in order to make sure that your body is working at its optimal health or optimum level. Growth. Of course, cells divide so that living things can grow. That's how we were so tiny and now we are all adults. So when organisms grow, it's not because the cells are becoming larger, but because they are dividing to produce more cells. Okay, reproduction. Now, when we talk about mitosis, it's about repair and growth. But when we talk about reproduction, it is not mitosis. It is another process of cell division. It's a part of cell division called meiosis. Okay, so meiosis is the one that's responsible for making gametes, that is your sperm or your. Why is it? What's the difference between the two? In mitosis, if a cell is going to replicate into another cell, this cell has 46 chromosomes. How many chromosomes will this cell have then if it's duplicating? It'll have the same number, right? But now, yes, but now when it comes to meiosis, what do you think if one cell divides into 4 cells, 4 daughter cells? Do you think it will have the same number of chromosomes? No. So meiosis, the reason why your gametes have half number of chromosomes, that is 23, is due to meiosis. If it was mitosis, you would have each sperm and egg cell having 46 chromosomes. But why is that not possible or likely? Because a sperm cell and an egg cell, when they come together, they need to make a set. They need to make 46 chromosomes, right? Otherwise, it will be double of 46, which is not normal. So which is the reason why your reproduction, being one of the cell functions, is done using meiosis. Okay, so you get 23 chromosomes, each from father, each from mother, because your gametes are half in the number of chromosomes, right? Now, these videos are very easy to understand. Okay, I will play it just now once we go through it in, or you know what, I think I'll just play it right away. So it'll become a little better to those of you who have not seen